It's Friday the 13th of December, and when it's Friday, you know what that means. Time for Comics Forever. Welcome back to Comics Forever, the weekly show where I tell you about all the comics that we love that you should be reading. Since it is a Friday the 13th and it is also in December, I figured this was the perfect time to do both Christmas and horror, because they do go together just so perfectly, and we have tons of comics to accommodate all of the horror hounds in your life that are not usually very holly or jolly. So let's get right into it. First up, Four Gathered on Christmas Eve. This one is by Albatross Funnybooks with art and stories by Eric Powell, Mike Mignola, Becky Cloonan, and James Harren. It is a murderer's row, literally and figuratively, of comic creators. So this is in the Victorian English tradition of telling ghost stories on Christmas Eve. These four creators have written themselves into the narrative, telling these stories, and then being a part of the stories themselves. It's super good. If you know anything about both me and Brian, our favorite creators are like these four guys. Like, it's ridiculous that they're all in the same book. It's like it was tailor-made for me and Brian specifically. So yeah, for fans of the Goon, Hellboy, Somna, Ultramega, all of the above, those are all the creators that are in this book, and it is a perfect book to keep your horror hound company on Christmas Eve. And because one good holiday horror anthology turn deserves another, we've got 3 single-issue anthology horror holiday specials that came out this Wednesday. Say that 5 times fast. First up, we've got EC's Shiver Suspense Stories. This is just a one-shot for the Christmas special. It's got 4 different stories by contemporary creators, plus a 5th story that is an old Johnny Craig EC comic recolored to fit the modern palette. So this one rules. Of course, the Crypt Keeper was not going to be left out of the fun. We've got Creep Show. Again, this one has 4 different stories by 4 incredible creators, with, of course, art by Martin Marazzo on the cover there. It rules. And even the new publisher Distillery decided to get on the holiday horror fun with Through the Bowels. This is a Yuletide offering, similar to their Becky Cloonan autumnal offering, Come Find Me. This one has another murderer's row of awesome creators in the fancy square-bound magazine format. So even more horror for your eyeballs. That is it for this week's Spooky Yuletide Comics Forever. Thank you for joining me. If you need more recommendations in the meantime before next Friday, make sure you check out my podcast, Tales from the Short Box. And if you need to shop but can't be physically in store, make sure you go to bravenewworldscomics.com with options for shipping and in-store pickup available. And until next Friday, Comics Forever.